Hi everyone, welcome to Block Talk. This week, Maura and I are going to be talking about blocks 17 and 18 in Sewcialites 3. So let's start with block 17. It's the Flutter block, and it was designed by Sandy Gervais. Hi, Maura.
Hey, Ann.
All right, so should we show our blocks?
Sure.
All right.
Mine's a little too busy. Boom, boom.
Ooh, I like it. Yeah, nice job.
It was a really cute, fun pattern. I like this one.
Yeah, I like it too. I've seen it done a lot of ways in terms of color placement. Mine, I wish I would have selected better colors. These corner ones are supposed to be lighter than the inside ones, but they're so close that you can't even tell. So,
okay.
But that's all right.
I saw some
No
people
biggie.
that would do this middle block the same as this. Like this would have been and then it looks like a knot. It looks like a knot, and then this one is really pretty in a repeated pattern. And then I tried to reverse this. You can't screw it up because if you flip this over, it's just the same. So
I was worried about that. I noticed that. I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to really pay attention to placement, but every piece was reversible.
yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah. So I did another block. This one is a little 3-incher, and I reversed just because I wanted to see what the fabrics would be like if I reversed them. Yeah, that's how that goes.
I really like it. But super cute. Nice work, Maura.
It is a super, super cute block. Like I say, it's one of those that if you repeat it, it starts making this other pattern, almost like an Irish chain. If you use that center block the same as one of the colors on the outside, it looks like a little knot.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? I kind of meant to do that. I think I didn't realize that's how they did it. All I remembered was how I really liked certain ones, but I didn't look far enough into it to actually get that effect on mine. I wish I would have.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah. Yeah, it went together really, really cute. Did you have any seam rips on yours?
I did not. I mean, I plowed through it so fast that it is a bit wonky. But again, I'm fine with that.
Okay. I had no seam rips on mine either.
Yeah, I didn't have any troubles with this one. Did you?
No. Went together really smoothly. It was fun to do the 9-inch block, and then I did the 3-inch block, and it was a lot of fun.
You should start doing smaller blocks, maybe.
I should, but then what do you do with those?
Well, you mix them in, you know.
Okay. So what was your time on this one? Oh, I got a yapper too. What was your time?
Who are you watching?
Come here. Oh, this guy is so cute. This is Archie.
Oh, hi, Archie. Oh, your favorite kind of dog, too, Maura.
He's a Boston Terrier. Well, he's a little bit high-strung, but he's a Boston. Look at that face.
Oh, my gosh. He's so cute.
Very cute. I have him for 3 weeks. His fam went to Africa for a safari trip.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. He's such a lucky puppy. All right. Well, what was your time? Do you want me to say it first? Or...
Go ahead.
Okay. 11:28.
You beat me.
Yay!
I'm 13 minutes and 39 seconds. So you won that one.
Wow.
Yeah.
I could have stopped and measured and trimmed in between. I had no idea. All I know is I needed to catch up.
You won that one. Good job. I don't have anything more on that one.
I don't either. I know we're chomping at the bit to get to 18. So, okay, let's talk about block 18. It is the Cross Current block, and it is designed by Stacy Lest Who. I think that's how you say her name. So, should we show our blocks?
Mine is a hot mess. Okay, ready?
Ready?
Dun, 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 dun. What is that? Oh,
that's 8 background squares. Let me see yours again. I actually really like that one. I like the greens.
It's such a hot mess, and I just don't understand it because once you sew this in, all of this is gone. So what was even the point? And then it went all wonky. I had extra fabric in the middle. I've got a kite, not a square. Yeah, not pleased with this, but I will not do it over because there was so much waste.
Oh.
This is what I made with the waste, and I wasted that.
Oh, that's really cool. But I get your point.
There was so much. I don't understand why you wouldn't just like take strips and sew them together, and then cut those accordingly
and trim them down,
and even like separate a square, make 2 triangles out of a square.
You could even for those strips, you could even sew. Well, I guess they differ in which is the wide strip and which isn't. So,
and is there one that's supposed to be wider than the others? Because some of the ones on the Sewcialites Facebook page, they had a small middle one and then big fat wide one, or and it was like, well, what's that all about? Mine kind of came together, but
I really didn't even get that far, so I can't answer that. But it's interesting that 2 of the squares were to be cut at 3.5, where the rest were 3-inch. So I don't know what that was about because I didn't do the block. I refused. What happened? What happened to me is I cut the 8 squares, and that's my background. And then I got to where it says prints 1 and 2 from each print. I don't know what they exactly mean by that. And then I get the B and the C, which again, I've brought this up before. My brain has a problem
with the numbers and the letters and the
Well, the fact that there's more than one letter on more than one color, I don't know. My brain can't reconcile that. So I tried really hard. And not only that, we're using different colors than the illustrations. So I
think that is a misprint. I think print 3 was supposed to be D because that's a completely different color.
Well, and I don't even know how you come to that understanding because I just can't get past the background cutting. I can't draw a line between my fabrics that I wanted to use and what's in the I couldn't do it. I tried once. I got frustrated. I said, I'm not doing the block. And I thought, no, you got to try harder. So I tried harder. I did that 3 times. And finally, here was the verdict. I just wrote no.
So we're not counting this
Life's too short.
Yeah, we're not counting this one. And then I had that stupid, I'm determined to use my fabric, whether I chose wrong or not. I'm just determined it's in the pile. I'm using it regardless. It'll all straighten out in the wash. But there's that polyester stuff going on in the green fabric I picked. So it's all wrinkly beyond recognition. And then I did not draw they said I guess I didn't pay too much attention to this part, to this, I cut my fabric. I understood what they were asking, but I didn't read it in depth. I understood how the block was going together. That 3.5 and that 3-inch are the 2. One is the basic, and you're sewing off of that. That's the 3.5. And then the 3-inch is the side piece, but you need 2 in each main color. And then
I still don't get it. I don't.
And then that last, which should be print D, the 4 3-inch squares, those are just happening.
My brain is just blank. I even got on because so look, I got on to AI because I use AI for work. So it's a useful tool when you're not smart enough for something. Like I wasn't for this. I fed it the pattern. I explained my confusion, and he came back with, well, yeah, this is confusing, but he said also that probably the reason a lot of people's blocks were coming out smaller than they should have was just that there's a lot of stitch and flips, which I'm not even going to look that far into it.
It's all frankly snowballed. It's all snowballed.
But I don't think
that was it. It takes up that space. Yeah. But if
I don't know. I don't agree. I don't think that was it. I think there's a lot of skilled sewists that can, stitch just outside those lines, and they know to do that, who still came up short. So I think it was a confusion in the instructions, but I don't know what, because AI tried to explain it to me, and I, again, was just going blank, so I'm not even going to try.
Even when I sewed mine together, I didn't get a square. I got 2 pieces that were going out like this, and I got 2 pieces that were going out like that. And then I just cheated and cut off a bunch to make it go back to a square. But
see, that's what I would have had to do, I think.
Yeah, it was just a hot mess, but I was so angry at all the waste. I mean, I had a pile because you're cutting and it's like, oh my gosh, this is a big enough triangle to do something with. Why am I constructing it with so much waste?
Right. Interestingly, I'm looking at this. Oh, the color order does change. So from one corner to the next, it's red, yellow, blue. And then on the other side, it's blue, red, yellow. So, but you could almost make 2 strip sets. One blue, red, yellow.
Exactly.
And then you cut in half. Yeah.
Why wouldn't you do it that way?
Interesting.
That would have been easier. Yeah. And then, and then adjust for that triangle ends. That would have been so much too much waste.
And then you could cut that in half and take a center square that you cut as a square and just do flipping stitches with those strip sets.
Yeah. Yeah. That would have made so much more sense. This was a lot of sewing for nothing to me. I was just, I was not impressed at all. The waste and the way it went together. And like I say, I understood the cuts, what they were asking, but because you have that one contrast color that is only on the exterior or the interior.
Still drawing a blank. Good try though. I mean, kudos to you for doing the block. I wasn't even willing to go that far, so. And I think you should get a point just for that fact.
We're not counting it. We're not counting. It's out of the contest.
It's that bad. We're removing it from the competition.
It is out. So I'm going to do something. I'm going to figure out how to cut this and sew this all together, because this is going to be the block I put in the quilt.
Oh, I love it. Just out of sheer revolt.
I'm just.
That's awesome. I love it. Okay, so I feel like have we said everything that needs to be said about cross current block?
Politely, yes.
Hey, I want to know your time.
Oh, I was 22 minutes on that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing. But I beat you. I was 0 minutes. So.
1 point for Anne.
I'll take the first one. I earned that one, but not this one. Yeah, I'm just impressed anyone could even cut the fabric. I still don't know what's wrong with me. Should we do show and tell?
Yes.
Behind me is my quilt my grandmother made. It's a Cathedral window. It's a huge quilt. It's a king size. It's extremely heavy if you know how they go together. Even though there's no batting, there's layers and layers and layers of fabric in.
Do you normally not do batting in a cathedral because of that?
Yeah, you don't.
Oh, wow.
It's the way they're constructed. On this one, she hand stitched during the construction, so the backing is actually part of the original block that you sew. It's kind of it's totally different construction than anything I've ever seen.
Oh, wow. Both your grandma and your mom are quilters.
Not my mom. My grandma on my dad's side was, and it's funny because she kind of inspired me from beyond the grave to start quilting. What happened is I bought a sewing machine in 2020 when COVID came along and work started slowing down. But I didn't know what I was going to do with the sewing machine. I had sewn before, sewn patterns and things, a long time ago. but I thought, no, I'll do something. And it sat here for months and I just didn't know what to do. And then it dawned on me. I mean, I have tons of my grandma's quilts. I thought, oh my gosh, I'll just start quilting. So that's how I started quilting, was just from her inspiration from her and the things I have that she's made. So this one, it's 50 years old almost. So she made it in, I think it's 50 years old this year. I think it was 76 or 78.
Oh, wow.
She made it. And it's been floating around in our family for a while. And there's a lot of places where the fabric's just given way.
Oh.
So I decided I was going to, well, one of my sisters knew I had it and she's like, hey, how about passing that around a little bit? And I thought, yeah, that's right thing to do. And then, taking a closer look at it, I thought, I'm going to need to fix this first. So I was working on I had to learn how to make a cathedral window, and there's many ways to do it. You can do it all by hand or all on machine, or you can do a hybrid. And once I took it apart, I figured out that's what she did, was part machine and part by hand stitching. So I was working on sort of dialing in the method of doing it and the sizes I needed to cut of everything. And so, funny story, a lot of you who've seen my previous videos might have heard this story, but it's worth sharing twice, I think. I was sitting upstairs in the living room and I was stitching on this, prototype, trying to figure out how to make it. And I was heating a pan on the stove and it had oil in it. And all of a sudden I heard this sound of oil igniting in the pan. And I mean, the flames were really high. So I just went running in there and I was putting out the fire with this piece of quilt I was working on. So you can see,
oh no,
it's damaged. I had to start over, but yeah. So anyway, I'll be keeping this because it's a funny story. So now I've got this that I finally figured out exactly, because over time, I mean, man, the color of the fabric changes. This is more wrinkly than anything I can produce. It'll just have to look that way. But not only the color, but the sizing over time changes. And so I have this weird starting size I had to figure out. Anyway, I figured all that out, and now it's on paper and it's in my queue of things to do. But, it's really a meaningful thing for me, and it's, I think we all as quilters have really sentimental things around quilts, and I don't know, they're just, important. And so to me, it's like, I thought this would be a really good thing to share because our last video was about how quilting can be hard. And I felt I was a little whiny about it, but good, valid point still. But then I thought, and then this block, and I thought, here is why we quilt, grandma's quilt, your mom's quilt. That's really why we keep doing it.
Yeah.
So
when those patches that you're doing, will you cut away part of the quilt and then sew that in, or how do you repair that?
Right. So here, if you look at, this is all a closed edge. By the time you make these pieces, it's a folded over piece. So I'll just join it by doing a ladder stitch or something into position. And as you take it apart, you pull part of it away. And what's left is not raw edges. They're folds.
Okay.
Yeah. So you don't really have to do anything fancy to, I mean, it's going to be somewhat obvious.
So it's constructed, so it's originally constructed in like blocks where the back and the front are done at the same time?
I wish I had pieces to kind of illustrate, and I'll probably do a video someday about this. But basically, you start with a bigger white square and you start folding them into the center, and then you stitch that together, and then you fold them into the center again. So what you end up with is a square with folds, and you get to put like one, actually, let me show you the back. So you can see this is a square right here.
Okay.
And if I show you the front of that square, there's no color in the middle. It crosses over to the next square.
Oh, okay.
So it's really unusual, and it's really hard to explain without actual pieces where I can fold it and show you.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh,
it's
cool.
and heavy.
Oh,
Very
wow.
heavy.
Okay.
So many folded up pieces. It's like each piece has 4 layers on it,
So what's
or
the
more
percentage you think that you're replacing on that or repairing on that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I'd say maybe 20%,
Oh, that's not
15.
bad. Okay.
Yeah, it's worth it. And I just really don't enjoy hand sewing, and so this is going to be a really good exercise for me. It's for a good cause.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be cool. That'll be appreciated by your family.
Yeah. Even if it's not, I feel like I'm in a collab with my dead grandmother. So.
Yeah. That works. That works just fine. That's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Is it like scraps that she had or clothing or?
Yeah, all that. She quilted for I don't even know how long. I wish I knew more about her quilting life because I didn't really think about it too hard until it struck me that that's what I wanted to do. So I wish I knew more, but
who inherited her stash?
Well, it's spread out pretty evenly, I think. Recently, one of my aunts, because she's getting older and her and her partner started traveling a lot, and so she sent me quite a few smaller things that my grandma made.
Oh, cool.
Because she knows I quilt.
Oh, cool.
So, and one of them that she gave me, I gave to one of my sisters to put on her bathroom wall. So I would just like to see it kind of distributed evenly, unless there's somebody that doesn't like things that are quilted.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Cool.
Thanks. Yeah. Thanks for the chance to tell that story. It makes me feel happy, and it's a good palate cleanser after block 18.
Yeah, not seeing that in a full.
Yeah, I know. Quite the contrast. All right. So, do you have anything else to say about these blocks?
No, I do not. The ones coming up are really pretty creative.
Oh.
Yeah, they look pretty challenging. We only have we have 6. No, 7. Boom.
Okay. So we're going to have 25 total?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I found a setting block that I liked, and I've got half of mine sewed together already, and it's looking really cute.
Yeah, I really like that, actually, what you're doing. I still think I'm going to do some sort of flying geese situation, but we'll see. I don't know. All right. Well, thank you for joining us, and we will see you next blocks. Bye, Maura.
Bye, Anne. Thanks.
Thank you.